It is finally here, the finale, the epic conclusion to Kenobi, the series, episode 6. And we finally got everything we were promised. The rematch of the century, all these cameos, the satisfying conclusion to everything that just is this show. And I can't do it. I can't bullshit you or me anymore. And if you're seeing this review, I do apologize for being a little bit late. The thing is, it was 3 o'clock in the morning for me. I figured have a little drink, and you know what? It can't be that bad, right? I'm going to play myself a little game that every time something stupid happens or something that I find wrong with this show and this episode, I will take a drink. And, well, I bought this brand new bottle of Jack and Apple. Halfway through the episode, I already finished off half this goddamn bottle and had to pass out, then go to work, and finish the episode when I got home. So, now I'm going to try to finish this review, and unfortunately going over the bad, because there's like one little bit of good in this bullshit. And instead of taking a shot, I'm just going to take a sip because, I don't want to die telling you guys about how awful this fucking finale was.
Horrible, horrible, horrible.
And, well, I can tell you one thing that I'm very happy. I'm excited to talk about this because I'm excited the fact that it's finally over. Everything that we feared did happen. All of our hopes and dreams were flushed down the toilet. And, okay, give me 1 second because I'm going to pour this. And as I said, try not to, commit liver suicide as I talk about the conclusion to this bullshit. We start out, as always, with our 2.5 minutes of bullshit credits and recaps and blah, 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 and I'm already annoyed, so let's have a drink.
Drink, 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 drink!
Okay, and now we're on Tatooine with our favorite person of all, Reva. And guess what? Reva is still alive because after battling Darth Vader, she took a saber through the chest because apparently whenever you take a fucking lightsaber through the chest, you live. And let me take a drink.
I need a drink.
Now she's on Tatooine. Why is she there? It makes no sense. In fact, how did she even get to Tatooine? Okay, details aren't important. Fuck it, let's have a drink.
I need a drink!
Because in the last episode, she found this garbled message from Bail Organa to Obi-Wan, and she doesn't have any information. All you get is, brr, 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 kid, brr, 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 children, Tatooine. That's it. She has no idea who this young boy, what his importance is. She doesn't know the fact that he's Anakin Skywalker's son.
She has no idea what happened.
In fact, Darth Vader himself has no idea that Luke is his son.
He doesn't know!
He doesn't find this information out until Empire Strikes Back because he thought that his wife died in childbirth. So why is she there? Why does she want to kill this young boy? It makes no sense, and let's have a drink.
I need a drink.
Okay, next we have the Star Destroyer. In fact, Vader is on the Star Destroyer. He's in the Empire chasing down the Rebels' ship. Apparently a ship that's 30 or 40 or 50, I can't even count at this point, the size of the smaller ship is shooting at it, and it can't destroy it. Because why? I don't know. Let's have a drink.
I need a drink.
Obi-Wan is talking to his buddy Token.
Well, we have Token. He's black.
Or Broken, sorry. And the shields aren't going to last much longer. So Obi-Wan wants to sacrifice himself yet again, because it's not like Obi-Wan has any importance at all. It's not like he was sent to Tatooine to look over young Luke Skywalker, then one day maybe train him. In fact, I think it was episode 1, Obi-Wan was even telling Owen that, well, the boy needs to be trained. It's kind of hard to train this kid if you're fucking dead, pal. Let's have a drink.
I need a drink.
Now, he's talking to Leia. He gives Leia a holster that came from Tala. This scene, I don't know, maybe it triggered me, maybe I'm reading into things too much, who knows, maybe it's modern stuff, maybe it's this bullshit disclaimer we get at the beginning of every episode. And I'm sorry, that may sound harsh, and it is, we don't need it. You see,
take it out.
The point of watching entertainment and movies and TV shows is this thing called escapism. We don't want to have modern world issues and politics beaten down our fucking throats. Things happen in real life. Bad things happen. We don't need to be reminded of it every single episode with a disclaimer. That's why we sit down and drink and go to the movies and try to have a good time. So when Obi-Wan tells Leia, well, here's a holster, and she's like, it's empty. The line he gives her is that, well, it's kind of dangerous to give this weapon to a small girl. And the first thing I'm thinking of, okay, the holster and the blaster, almost like the blaster is a gun. So apparently we can't give a gun to a small child. But if anybody actually watched 1, 2, and 3, and also want to say this, I will link this, that the writers admitted of the show that they didn't watch episodes 1, 2, and 3. Because if you're going to sit there and write a TV show about Obi-Wan Kenobi, you don't want to watch episodes 1, 2, and 3, right? Let me have a drink.
I need a drink.
And to follow that, my message to you guys is, if you didn't watch episodes 1, 2, and 3 before writing this Obi-Wan TV show, well, I have one thing to say to you.
Go fuck yourself.
I am not the biggest Star Wars fan. There's plenty of people out there who know way more than me. But because I actually did watch the prequels at one point, you do realize the fact that, well, part of the downfall and, tragedy and drama of Anakin Skywalker was that he was attached. He was attached to Padme. And even watching episode 1, when they do the Jedi Council, they talk to Yoda and Mace Windu. Mace Windu, and yes, there actually were black Jedis and black characters in Star Wars. I know, we'll get to that later. But, because Reva was the first one, right?
Wrong!
And he even tells Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan the fact that the boy is too old.
He's too old.
Anakin at this point was 8 years old, and he was too old. They take Jedis and they take these children, they get them early because they don't want them being attached. Being attached is emotion. They want to try to make them as devoid of emotion as they can. But the premise is, if you watch episode 2, they are trained as children, and Obi-Wan has a discussion with Yoda. He's missing a planet. We get to see this entire cute little sequence with a whole bunch of Jedi children. What are these Jedi children doing? Well, they're training. What are they holding? Lightsabers.
Use your feelings, you must.
I am pretty sure that a lightsaber is a lot more fucking dangerous than a blaster, considering, it's a big laser sword that can cut you in half. So yeah, Obi-Wan doesn't want to give a 10-year-old girl a weapon that may be dangerous because Jedis never gave children dangerous weapons. And having a drink.
I need a drink.
Okay, so Obi-Wan gets out of there in his little escape pod, and again, some reason, he's dodging and weaving this destroyer ship because the destroyer ship can't kill an escape pod, and I'm gonna have a drink.
I need a drink.
We're cutting back to Tatooine because Owen is telling Beru that he knows that Reva's coming to kill Luke and they have to get out of there. We cut back to Obi-Wan. He tries communicating with Qui-Gon, I guess one last time, and, he says this line, which later on should be important, but it isn't, where he's like, Master, I have to face him, and whether he dies or I die, this ends today.
One of us has gotta go!
We cut back to Tatooine again, and Reva is limping and panting and still out to kill Luke. Then we cut back to the planet again, and Vader tells everybody that he's going to face him alone. And the scene comes up where you get this, for the most part, pretty cool wide shot, and it should be impactful, and it should be an emotional scene, but it's not, because then Vader says something that, oh god, it hurts even saying it out loud, but have you come to destroy me, Obi-Wan? Like, no, buddy, he's here to roast fucking marshmallows, and, having a drink.
I need a drink.
Obi-Wan ignites his saber, and so does Vader. And then the music starts swelling, and I want to get excited because, remember that part in episode 3 when Obi-Wan did the stance with the 2 fingers? Well, it's back because you remember, I remember, and it's stupid. Let me have a drink.
Remember Tatooine? Remember the torture droid? I remember.
This fight should be epic. It should be legendary, but it's not because say what you want about George Lucas, but go ahead and watch the prequels. Watch 1, 2, and 3. See all the lightsaber sequences, the way they were shot, the way there was a distance, the way you could see every single swing and reaction. This is the constant bullshit shaky cam. It's everywhere. It's going fucking nuts. It's really hard to follow and also annoying when it's constant jump cuts between the 2 actors doing this crap. And yet again, we're back to Tatooine because Reva wants to kill Luke in the middle of the epic showdown and epic rematch of all time. We're cutting back to Reva yet again. Let me have a drink.
I need a drink.
To his credit, Owen and Beru are trying to fend her off. They're shooting at her, screaming, and, considering she's like a Sith Inquisitor and Owen has no Jedi powers or weapons, he's doing his best to fend her off. Then we're cutting back to Obi-Wan and Vader. They're fighting yet again, and just the music is swelling, but more jumpy cams and everything going on, and Obi-Wan keeps doing these constant evade rolls and just Jesus Christ, it's like watching Elden Ring with lightsabers. Let me have a drink.
I need a drink.
Vader and Obi-Wan, gotta need this, are still going at it, and just Vader says, "Your strength has now returned." And just part of me just died inside because, all the people that were supporting this bullshit for the first 5 episodes were like, okay, episode 4, Vader and Obi-Wan are fighting. He's an old man. He's been cut off from the Force for 10 years. He hasn't touched a lightsaber. Of course he's rusty. Of course Vader's kicking his ass because he's out of practice. And since episode 4, how much practice has Obi-Wan had? None. So your strength has returned. And from the fact that you've cut off the Force for a good decade and you haven't touched a lightsaber in a decade, I can tell you one thing, as somebody who does lift weights and somebody who knows things about samurais and just watching movies and boxers, I'm pretty sure that if any master swordsman didn't pick up a sword for 10 fucking years, it would take more than just, one time to pick it up to regain their old skills. And besides Obi-Wan, deflecting some blaster bolts in the previous episode, when has he had time to train? And as far as that whole line, like, your strength has returned, okay, when has he trained in the Force in the past decade? And that's not how... Let me have a drink.
That's not how the Force works.
We are 18 minutes in, and oh god, this is painful. Since now Vader cracks the ground open, and Obi-Wan falls down this new cavernous pit, and now he's looking up at Vader, and I'm thinking to myself, say it, say it, say it, and he doesn't say it.
Say it!
And I know I'm not the only one thinking that. Why the fuck didn't you say, I have the high ground now? It's stupid. I'm drinking.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
We cut back to Tatooine yet again, and to its credit, probably the only good scene in the film was Owen versus Reva. He's trying his best. He has just a basic weapon and is trying to fend her off. This is a good line. I'll give him that much credit, where Reva is like, "You really love the boy? Like, he is your own." And he goes, "He is my own." He tries his best to stop her. He can't, of course, but hey, at least he tries, and you know what? I'll give him a drink for that.
A toast!
But now, we're back to Obi-Wan. He's holding down all this rubble with the Force, and he's hearing Anakin's voice and Vader's voice. He should be motivated. This would be a great time for maybe his old master to motivate him, to give him strength and guidance to get the hell out of there. But no, we get to have a whole bunch of flashbacks with Leia, of course, and just one scene with Luke, because that's all the film footage they had, apparently. And, it would just maybe, I don't know, show some footage from the prequels, show footage of Anakin, whatever. Leia's his motivation because she's his motivation for everything in this series. And now he finds the strength to get all the Force, or get all the rocks out of there. I'm sorry, I'm starting to get drunk now, but he then catches up to Vader, and they start fighting yet again. And of course, more shaky cam and more jump cuts, which is annoying as hell. But he knocks Vader back, and he has the advantage. Then out of nowhere, Obi-Wan, for some reason, which he's never done before in any of the prequels or the Clone Wars or any in Episode 4, this ability may have helped out at some point, just gathers a whole big bunch of rocks in a rock storm and starts tossing everything at Vader. Some of these rocks, because I just rewatched it, are pretty big, like half the size of Vader's body, and they're just bouncing off him, doing no damage. And I couldn't help thinking to myself that, wow, Obi-Wan just being a badass, holding the lightsaber, having all these rocks with the Force, it reminds me of a scene from a really shitty movie that I hate. I'm having a drink. We cut back to Reva yet again, and she's chasing this young boy, and Jesus Christ, take your TVs and put it on max brightness, because this shit was worse than watching fucking Game of Thrones, which that was awful in itself, and you know what, for this, I'm having a drink.
Oh, I need a drink.
Now we get back to Vader and Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan, again, has the advantage. He's hitting Vader repeatedly in his chest and messing up his rebreather, so now Vader is gasping for air. And now we get this scene, which we all seen coming. I kind of predicted it. Unfortunately, I didn't have a YouTube channel back then, but it was really kind of fucking obvious. And the second it happened, I pressed friggin' pause, and I went and downloaded this clip, which I'm about to show you. So in slow motion and fashion, as it is, Obi-Wan jumps up, and he comes down, and he slashes Vader across his face. And Jesus, wow, where have I seen this before? Oh, before that as well, he slashes Vader across his back, and I guess maybe it was Vader's armor, because I'm not sure how a lightsaber, just cuts across your back and doesn't cut you in half, but, plot points and bullshit and stolen scenes, from a better series and stuff, and let's have a drink.
Anakin.
I won't lie, I can't totally hate this. I did feel something. Not everyone did, but I did, because just the exchange with Anakin Skywalker, with the way his voice is changing, mixing between Anakin and Vader, and just the way Obi-Wan looks at him with just the failure and the tears in his eyes and all the regret. And the scene is kind of cringy though, just with the dialogue where it's like, I am not your failure, Obi-Wan, but it almost feels like, they're trying to bleed into A New Hope.
A new hope will emerge. A new hope.
In the sense that, Obi-Wan tells Luke Skywalker that, Darth Vader is the one that killed your father, Anakin Skywalker. And right now you have, Vader telling Obi-Wan that Anakin Skywalker, I'm the one who killed him. So it seems like they're trying to mix it together and I'm having a drink.
I need a drink.
The music is swelling. I am enjoying this moment in a sense that he's seeing his fallen friend, but again, what kills it is the fucking stupidity of Obi-Wan, because goodbye, Darth. And he walks away, and why would Obi-Wan let him live? And give me a second to have another fucking drink.
I need a drink.
By how stupid this is. Okay, some people have said, well, Chris, if he kills him, that breaks canon. Understandable, it would break canon, which is why many people, myself included, felt like they never should have fucking met in the first place, considering the big time gap between episode 3 going into episode 4. And, hey, Vader's on the ship with the Death Star, and I have felt the presence that it's been such a long time. And Obi-Wan, remember last time? I was the learner and you were the master. But why would Obi-Wan let him live for? Some people have said, that Chris, it's Obi-Wan's PTSD and his guilt, and it's bullshit.
Bullshit.
Okay, because, I'm sorry, he wouldn't let Vader live. He was there to kill Vader. In fact, if you actually watch episode 3, when he fought Anakin, he has the speech, you were the chosen one, you were there to destroy the Sith. He thought Anakin Skywalker died. He walked away. The reason he didn't kill him because he was assuming he was going to die, considering, both legs are cut off, and arm is cut off, he's wheezing, he's being set on fire. Obi-Wan thought he was dead. He wasn't. Why would he let Darth Vader live for? Considering, after this experience and stuff, it's not like Vader redeems himself 5 minutes later and never goes on any kind of a killing, rampaging spree and, destroys planets and billions of lives. And it's fucking stupid, the fact that Obi-Wan walks away from Vader when he should have and could have killed him right there. I'm having a fucking drink, and this is dumb.
I need a drink.
Guess what? We're back to our old buddy, our fan favorite, Reva, and she's chasing Luke Skywalker, and Force pulls him down some rocks. He's tumbling down, and mysteriously, hey look, Obi-Wan, he got his mojo back. His Force powers are working. He senses Luke is in danger, and now he has to head to Tatooine. And, goddamn, by the time he would have got there, had Reva actually wanted to kill him, he would have been fucking dead. So, of course, Reva, being the good guy that she is and the sympathetic villain, she looks over Luke, who's an unconscious 10-year-old, and decides not to kill him because she's a great person, and just, fuck her, I'm having a drink.
I need a drink. You want a drink?
Because now Obi-Wan shows up. We see Lars and Beru yelling out, Luke, Luke. Obi-Wan then asks him, and I can't help it with the fucking stupidity, where is he? Well, gee, if they knew where the fuck he was, they wouldn't be out there in the middle of the goddamn desert yelling Luke and just another fucking drink.
Wow, I need a drink!
So guess what? Our buddy Reva, she shows up, our pal. She has an unconscious Luke in her arms and has this little exchange with her and Obi-Wan talking about, showing mercy and not failing them, and just, again, bullshit. You finally decided after 10 years of going on this bullshit rampage and revenge story, after all the men, women, and children you killed, you finally decided to spare one little boy. And it's almost like, hey, gee, thanks, Reva, because you saved Luke Skywalker. Now episodes 4, 5, and 6 get to take place. And just thank God the galaxy was saved by the heroicness and the sacrifices and just the character redemption arc of Reva. And I still can't fucking stand her. I'm having a drink.
I need a drink.
I'm checking in. It's 15 more minutes to go, and holy fuck, I'm so glad this is almost over. And awesome, we get to see our cameo by Ian McDermott and Lord Palpatine himself. It's just member berries, and they have a little, sequence between the two of them. And now Vader, he's focused so much more. He wants Obi-Wan dead. He let go of all his past attachments, and just, holy shit, look, it's the Imperial March. The Imperial March. Darth Vader's theme, I mean, it's been on constant ringtones, and it's been throughout 40 years of history, and everybody knows Darth Vader, and they know the Imperial March. It's part of pop culture, and it took us 6 episodes to finally get to the fucking Imperial March. Sorry, but I'm so glad Disney finally, after 6 episodes, had the fucking budget to afford the rights to the Imperial March, and I'm having a fucking drink. Well, we're back to Alderaan and Leia, and she's sitting there talking to her father, Bail Organa, and she talks about, things have to change. And I keep thinking to myself that, yeah, they got to change from a girl who lives a privileged life and a lap of luxury, and things are going also perfect, and you're really struggling as a 10-year-old because things got to change. Fuck this dialogue. I'm drinking.
I need a drink.
Now look, we have a surprise visitor. Who is it? Somebody from the prequels? Like, maybe Jar Jar or somebody of importance? Somebody we haven't seen? I don't know. It could be anybody at this point, but it's Obi-Wan. He's got to say his goodbyes. He has to give Leia her droid. And, as this goes with modern, I guess, storytelling and modern, like, the Disney characters, constantly just reaffirm her how exceptional and fearless and just passionate and perfect she really is, because this entire series has been all about Leia, because this Luke kid, who is he? He never does anything of any importance later on. Fuck, I'm drinking.
I need a drink.
Now Obi-Wan has to say his goodbyes. He tells Bail that, well, if you need me, you know where I'm at. And he does, since, he reached out to him before. So Obi-Wan is back and, packing up his cave. It's time to leave. He goes back and talks to Owen. Well, now Owen has a limp, and, well, after Eva, we see where he got it from. But he wants to see Luke, and just, this exchange, again, is so moronic because he just needs to be a boy, and just, the only protection that Luke needs, Owen, is you. Considering an Inquisitor just tried to fucking kill Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan then tells Owen that the only protection he needs is you. So, for the next 10 years, if any threats come up whatsoever, Obi-Wan is not going to be on this planet to protect Luke Skywalker. He's got all the protection he needs from his uncle with a fucking limp and no force powers, and you just were the only person to take on Darth Vader, and let me fucking drink because it's fucking stupid. Before Obi-Wan goes, Owen offers him, do you want to see Luke? I can't be mad at this because, a guy you met one time 10 years ago when you're 8 years old, of course you're probably not going to remember this guy. And just, hey look, for the people who love the member berries, we get to see Obi-Wan say the famous line of, hello there. Like, remember that part? Remember? Hello there, remember? And fuck this, I'm drinking.
Remember Tatooine? Remember the torture droid? I named...
Now it's the end. It's the finale. It's all over. And everything that everybody on the internet called out so long ago, and again, I wish I had a fucking YouTube channel, because I said that if he does pop up, if he does, we are all expecting it. I guarantee you, we won't get it, not even a fucking minute of his airtime. And I just timed it yet again. It's 36 seconds, which is disappointing because, holy Christ, even I can last longer than 36 seconds. Having a drink.
It lasted barely a moment.
Yes, the return, the cameo, the cheap bullshit plug of Liam Neeson and Qui-Gon Jinn, which, goddamn, it would have been so cool to see him at any point during the 6 episodes before this. The exchange he has with Obi-Wan just feels cringy and feels forced, and just the dialogue of the whole, I've been here the entire time, it's just that you weren't ready, and boy, I really could have used your fucking help before this. And not to mention, the point of Yoda sending you to Tatooine for the past goddamn decade was to communicate with Qui-Gon Jinn and, learn the ability to turn to a Force ghost and just get more knowledge about the Force. But awesome, you just beat Vader, and finally, after an entire decade of just turning on your Force powers, you get to see him, and just, I'm so happy. That's the end of the episode and the series, and let's take one more drink before I give you my fucking breakdown.
This calls for a drink.
Okay, so here it is, and you know what, screw it, I'm going to finish off the Jack and Honey since I don't want to die by going pure Jack Apple. Did I like anything about this? Yeah, a couple things. I have to hand it to Joel Edgerton for playing Owen. The only person seemed like to have any agency during this episode. He tried his best, he did some good acting, and Owen as a character did his best to fend off this horrible foe that is Reva, which he had no chance of beating her, but he tried. So good job, dude. You get a drink.
A toast.
Yes, it was good seeing Hayden in the suit. Yes, it was, good seeing the chemistry because, you know what, say what you want, Hayden and Ewan, you feel like there's a certain chemistry between these guys. They can act, they can play off each other. But, I had to watch it again. The second that it happened, I had to pause this and go back and watch Rebels. Rebels was just so much, was just better done because the music is swelling, it stops, you hear Anakin's voice saying Ahsoka, and Ahsoka was just like at this different place in her life than, Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan, excuse me, had his chance. He had his chance in episode 3. He already had the chance to redeem Anakin. In fact, when you go back and watch episode 3, he says that, I'm here to stop you, but only Siths deal in absolutes. And of course, the entire speech of, you were the chosen one, you were my brother, and that was it.
You were the chosen one!
There's no saving Anakin Skywalker. At the end of episode 3, Anakin is now full Darth Vader. The fact that it's been a decade and Obi-Wan still has like this bullshit naive mindset of like, maybe my friend is still in there, he's still calling him Anakin. No, it's like Anakin is gone, now he's Vader. It shouldn't have been in there.
Get over it.
And as usual, just the overall dumbness. It's like, Obi-Wan leaving Vader alive is stupid.
Stupid!
And as usual, God, this entire series, it seems like it's been more about Leia and Reva than Obi-Wan. Reva, her character, has no redemption arc. She has no good qualities. I'm not sure, besides her kidnapping Leia, what the fuck is her premise? What has she done? Okay, besides not killing Luke Skywalker, her character is totally friggin' pointless.
Pointless, actually.
I would have given some kind of credit that, like, maybe even this episode, if, like, she died fighting Vader or something, maybe she, like, who knows? Maybe Obi-Wan still is so weak and stuff, which would have made sense because he hasn't touched the Force or a lightsaber for a good decade. What if she helped Obi-Wan fight Vader and, she died fighting Vader and, like, shielding Obi-Wan from a lightsaber strike? I would have at least given it that much. But, of course, we can't kill her because whatever.
Makes no sense.
And oh God, so much lore breaking, just not even in this episode, but the entire series, but that'll be another review for another time. This episode, it's like, where do you begin, guys? Where do you begin? Just like, I can't see anybody watching this episode and then going right into Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, and telling me that 95% of this shit makes sense, because it doesn't.
Unmarred by additional canon.
Yes, we did get this, cameo between Ian McDiarmid, Palpatine, and then, of course, Liam Neeson and Qui-Gon, but it felt so just, like, lazy, and it seems like both actors probably showed up for, like, half a day, got makeup for an hour, said 2 or 3 lines, and just went home and grabbed a check.
Easy money.
It felt like there should have been so much more agency that, like, Qui-Gon could have, talked to Obi-Wan, especially during a sequence where Anakin knocks him down the hole, and he's holding up all the rocks with the Force. There's just a million more things you could have done. So, of course, I'm now reviewing this as a 1-episode basis, not as a series. So, did I like it? Did I love it? Did I hate it? I honestly think episode 5 was actually fucking better, which, shockingly enough, I expected the finale to not be good, but to not be this fucking bad. And I can't believe that episode 5 was a little bit better. Only because at least Obi-Wan was kind of redeeming himself, but also Reva fighting Vader was so one-sided, and it should be, and we get to see Vader be this fucking overpowered boss, maybe as he should be. This, just my God, the,
Give me a second.
From Kathleen Kennedy, this whole bullshit rematch of the century.
Rematch, motherfucker!
It was just badly scripted, badly shot, bad choreography, the shaky cams and stuff, the jump cuts. It just seems so like, goddamn guys, again.
Terrible.
Go back and watch episodes 1, 2, and 3, then watch this shit. So, it's like, Chris, do you hate this episode? I'm just too freaking drunk and just like, I'm too busy making fun of it to like, I get where people hate it. I didn't even hate it. I'm just like, I just don't fucking care anymore. I'm laughing at this point. This feels like a badly written fan fiction parody of what a Star Wars story should be.
It's a joke, just a joke.
But just overall, as a finale, it was such a fucking letdown. When I see people in the comment section on YouTube, channels, even Twitter, talking about how epic this was and the emotional payoff, I just totally fucking disagree.
I disagree.
Now, after watching, like, Rebels and seeing Ahsoka versus Vader and Ahsoka talking to Anakin and just the choreography, I mean, goddamn, there's you guys are on a fucking Disney budget. You could have done so much more. And again, I'm not going to be one of them guys where just like, I hated this. This is the worst thing ever.
I've seen worse.
But I can also see why a lot of people do feel like this is the worst thing ever. I'm just to the point where it's like, I'm going to close this by saying that, you know what, guys? I expected nothing, and you still fucking disappointed me.
I expected nothing.
And, okay, it was fun getting drunk, fun talking about this, and Jesus Christ, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I've been sipping out this slowly so I don't kill myself because, goddamn, there's so much wrong with this episode. And now eventually I have to go back and I want to review the entire series and I'm not sure if my liver can handle the entire fucking series after seeing this shit.
Tastes like I might die.
But I did get some requests. I tried having fun with this. I tried telling you guys how I felt, and it is so fucking brutal to watch. Such a great cast with Ewan McGregor, Joel Edgerton, Hayden Christensen, and even like using the voice of James Earl Jones, watching these guys just butcher this story that could have been so much more. As an episode, when am I rating this? I'm rating this episode as a toilet episode because you know what your best bet is? Grab your phone, sit on the toilet. If you're constipated, this will make you want to shit. Believe me, as any true Star Wars fan.
That is a real fan.
Well,
that's it. I apologize if I'm rambling a little bit, talking a little bit fast as always. Definitely. Fuck, you see me freaking go through about 5 fucking glasses of Jack right now with a little bit of soda. It's definitely kicking in. And I didn't have fun watching this episode, but I had fun making this review, and I had fun, doing this, and I hope I make 1 or 2 people laugh and just some people enjoy this. Now I have to, press stop, edit this stuff, and then get ready for work.
Woo! Going to work!
As always, I'm going to finish this, boys and girls, for one last time. Sorry I'm rambling. It's kicking in. For one last time, I'm done with this fucking series. I'm so happy that it's over. I don't have to watch it ever again, and I'm heading back to work.